Hello, I'm Mary V. Today, let's ask, are you getting the most out of your violin? So I often had the feeling I didn't like anyone else to play my violin because they would put different vibrations into it. They would make it sort of sound as if it had a cold. And then I'd play it and get it back to uh, sort of being in tune with me. Now, that's not fanciful because, as a matter of fact, the violin is all vibrations. And the violin starts to work with you. It starts to vibrate at your level of input. And there are ways that you can make your violin sort of improve by going beyond what you normally do. You might be quite a quiet player and you're very nice, and you make a nice sound and everything, but it may be that your violin is capable of something much, much better if you sort of encouraged it. So from time to time, I think it's worthwhile searching for pure notes on the violin. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, you choose a note that you like, D. D is great because it resonates with the open string, and it's a very basic note on the violin. So that's usually a lovely note on every violin. So you start. So if you hear what I'm doing, I'm trying to purify the note. I'm getting the note as nice as possible, as clear as possible. And then when I hear a certain sort of vibration, which is a little faster, okay, the vibration's going like that, and then it suddenly does that when you've really hit the right speed with the bow and everything's working so brilliantly. That's when you want to encourage your violin to do more of that. So you play quite loudly and you kind of, it's almost as if you're teaching the violin to remember that you're waking up the rest of the vibrations or the frequencies in the wood and the steel that you don't normally use. Okay, so. It reminds me of when you play a beautiful piano. You can feel the vibrations through the keys. This is even more sensitive. You're actually feeling the violin through the fingerboard, actually, literally. So if you've never done this before, this might sound like something very strange. But as a matter of fact, it's sort of tuning your violin up in the frequency vibrational sense. And do this a few times on your favorite notes, and you'll really see a difference with your violin's responsiveness. Violins are usually asleep until you actually literally wake them up. Because after all, the grain of the wood and the wood, the way that it's curved and the way that the maker has chosen to carve out this wood creates not only a hollow, but it creates vibrations going along these grain lines. And that's why the look of the violin and everything is so incredibly important. Why violins are always made with these particular flames and grains of wood and the curves of the violin and everything. So we've got this superb instrument, and sometimes we don't really realize how instrumental we are in actually waking this instrument up and making it better and better. So let's take another note. You can really feel how alive the instrument is. There's absolutely an enormous amount of life waiting to burst into action for you in a violin. Look after your violin, make sure it's nice and clean and not full of rosin. That really stops and interferes with the vibrations. Be very gentle with your violin when you clean the rosin. Just that should be a daily thing. A gentle little clean under there, the strings, and just wipe them with a microfiber cloth or whatever cloth, and just keep the surface nice and dust free. Before and after you play really is really good. Just do that. And the same for the bow. You can just wipe the wood of the bow with a cloth just to keep it from the rosin build-up. I had quite a lot of rosin build-up the last time. I didn't really clean my bow properly, and it's really helped to revive the bow. I got a rehair and it's really nice. So look after these things, just these very, very simple little things. Your violin is designed to vibrate to the fullest, and most of us don't really get the most out of our violin. We're crushing it, with holding it too tight and, holding it too tight with our heads, and we're tense and we're worried and lots of things. I mean, let it be free sometimes, and you and your violin go on a little exploration. And you might be amazed at how it improves it after a few days. You don't need to spend a lot of time doing this, and your violin will really thank you for it if you just open it out and let it speak the way that it's really designed to do. So I hope you found that interesting, and I'll say bye-bye for now. Bye.